It's map time, Pataskala students. That's right, it only happens 3 times a year, but I know that you're going to be ready because you have plenty of coaches all around the building, and I just have a few on the list that have taught you so much throughout the course of this year, as well as people at home that are here to support you, parents, grandparents, family, friends, neighbors. They know what you've learned. Now it's your turn to show what you have learned. So why do you take the map test? Well, instead of me just telling you, I'll show you a short video.
Good, everybody. Get ready. We're going to start the test right now.
Here we go. I hope I can do this test. Why are we taking it anyway? Huh? That's a good question. Do I want to know the answer? Sure. Why not?
Hi, welcome inside MAP.
Whoa, what are we doing here?
I could tell you were feeling a little unsure about the test, so I thought I would give you some tips.
Alright, so what's this test about? Will I do well?
Actually, everybody can do their best.
Really? Everybody?
Yeah, as long as you try the best you can.
What if my best isn't good enough?
With the MAP test, your best effort is always good enough. It's a chance to see how far you can go in your learning.
What do you mean?
I'll show you what I mean. Press that button.
Okay.
The MAP test is like other things that you try to do better. Like how far you can throw a disc, how well you play an instrument, or even folding origami. What makes it fun is doing it better and better.
What's that got to do with the MAP test?
Because the MAP test is trying to do your personal best, like this student. She took the MAP test at the beginning of the year, and that told her teacher what she was ready to learn next. So, during school, she worked on getting better. Later on in the year, she took the MAP test again, and this let her know how much she had improved.
Oh, okay. So what are the MAP questions like?
Well, let's try a couple. Do not rush. This is not a timed test.
Well, I already know my answer. It's this one.
Good. Do you want to push next? You can always change your answer before you go to the next problem.
I'm pretty sure. Can I change my answer later?
Not really. As you see, there's only a next button, not a back button.
Okay, I'm ready.
Good. Now let's try a math question. Do you see anything different?
You mean the picture in the corner over there?
Yeah, that's a calculator. The calculator appears when you might need help with math facts or problems. So, what do you think?
I think I don't know the answer. Can we skip this one?
You have to answer every question before you go on to the next problem.
But I haven't seen this kind of question before.
Well, try this one of questions unfamiliar. Start by taking away the choices that you know are wrong.
Well, I know the two bottom ones are too big.
Great! Now just choose from what's left.
Then I think it's this one.
Wow! Good for you! Go ahead and press next.
But I still don't understand. Why do they put on those kind of questions that I haven't seen before?
The MAP test gives you new and harder questions to see what you're ready to learn next.
But what if I get the question wrong?
You don't have to get every question correct.
Then how many do I have to get right?
As many as you can. Remember, it's your personal best. So whatever that is, it's fine. Plus, the MAP test isn't always so hard.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
It's time.
Time for what?
Time to see how far you can go on the MAP test.
Cool. Thanks for the help.
Okay, you ready to get started on this test?
Yeah, I want to see how far I can go.
That's great. Okay, here's what you do. In that first box, you're going to type the test session name.
So Brady's ready, and you're probably thinking, I'm ready, but can you tell me any more about the map test? Sure, I definitely can. And I'll be honest, you guys have taken the test before, and there are between 40 and 43 questions. I know that's your initial look, but remember, like they pointed out, there's no time limit. Whew. And you'll be coming up with goals with your teachers on how long you should take on the test. It doesn't have to be completed even in one day. At the bottom, it points out the longer students take on the test with focused effort. That means you are taking breaks if you need to. You're trying your best on each and every reading selection or math problem or reading question. The better your score is going to be. There's no time limit, so it's not a race. It's simply a test of your endurance. How long can you stay focused? On the reading test, first, I have some exciting news. If you didn't know this, I'm sharing it with you right now. That's right, the same passage might have more than one question. Oh yeah, that might make you want to get up and do a little floss. Why is that so exciting? Here's a short passage from a practice map test, and here is the excitement. Here's a little passage that it says, read the story Mason is writing about Sophie and her visit to her Aunt Dora and Uncle Steve. So there is a question below that is a question that is tied right to this passage. Once you answer this question and you hit the next button, you might see the same passage again with a different question. So realize that it's important to understand the passage because there might be more than one question attached. All right, the next tip. Some questions have more than one answer. If we go back to the selection, the question says Mason wants to tell more about Sophie's work on the farm. Which two sentences should Mason add to the story? So you don't pick one, but you pick two. That's right, two sentences. So make sure that you do pay attention to how many answers a question asks for. Sometimes it might ask for more than two. Don't be intimidated. You've probably seen this, but text does get harder, so passages get a little bit longer, so be ready for them. That just means that you are getting questions right. And once again, like they were telling Brady in the video, that it's just purely a test to see how high and how far you can go with your reading. And time is not an issue on these tests. No time limits. And as you read, some passages might be longer, so use the scroll bar. There is sometimes more to read. In this passage I found on an eDoctrina assessment, they have scroll bars on there too. And it looks like from the passage there might only be a few sentences. But if you do scroll and continue to read down, you're going to find more information on these driveless cars, which is pretty neat. So continue to always scroll down to make sure you've read all the selection in the passage. So these are just a few more things to expect on the reading test. But one strategy that you will continue to talk about tomorrow in practice that you should utilize on all of your tests is to make sure to read the question first. That's right, when you get a reading selection, before you even dig into that and use the scroll bar and continue to read that long passage, read the question. It'll give you a good idea of what you should look for within the text. All right, we're finally going to jump to the math test. Yeah, this little baby's jamming, and he's jamming because he has headphones on. In the math test, everybody can use headphones. That's right, that's why that picture is there. Put on your headphones. All of the test is read to you. Take advantage of that. Not that way on the reading test, but it is on the math test. Also on the math test, teachers expect you, and you are showing calculations. So use paper, scrap paper, dry erase boards to show all of your work so you don't make any silly mistakes when you go to solve problems on the math test. Also on the math test, you can use hundreds charts, you can use number lines. There's multiple different ways of showing number lines. Any little resource you need on the test except for calculators. Now, it did point out in the video that a few problems might allow you to have calculators, so unless it pops up, you cannot use a calculator on the test, but use other resources that you do have in the classroom. And remember, students, most importantly, that we believe in you, and all we expect you to do is just show what you know, show what you have learned, and flex those brain muscles. Also remember, students, it is not a race. It is truly a test of your endurance. You have as much time as you need, multiple days to complete your MAP assessments, so take your time. You're going to be talking about strategies throughout the course of this week to get yourself ready for the upcoming MAP assessment. Good luck.